But like I said, we're having so much fun because again, the products work and the products work on network. And a couple of other points that I want to illustrate as I don't want to take away from the slides and repeat information as you see it. I have a very big passion for working in other countries. It's like countries like the Philippines. And why is that? And hopefully no one gets offended by what I'm about to say. I love building in the United States, and it's great, right? And we have so many people making an extra 500,000, $2,000, right? Part-time around their schedule. But in America, when you help someone make an extra 500 to $1,000, even though we have so many people doing that, that type of money for most people doesn't feel like life-changing money. But when you take a look at a country like the Philippines, where the average monthly income, household income is $1,100, you help someone make an extra 500,000, $2,000. That changes a whole household. That's the ability to change a whole province, community, a whole country. And when you work with people like that, they're so grateful, they're so appreciative, and it just gives me a certain level of satisfaction that you can't find in places like real estate. You can't find it in places like investment, right? To be able to not just impact people, on their face, on how they look, their self-esteem, their confidence, not just supporting people financially, but really making a difference that can last generations. So that's why I'm just so passionate about it. So yeah, looks like we got the slides up.
I love that, Julian. Thank you so much for introducing what we're going to talk about tonight, which is Korean skincare. And if you didn't know this, Korea is actually the skincare capital of the world, and all of the best products come out of Korea. And you have to realize that in the hardest market in the entire world to go number one in, this brand became the number one searched for Korean skincare. In fact, they sold 40 million jars of their dermatology cream, and there's 52 million people that live there. So basically, most of the population in Korea uses this product. They were number 22 on the direct selling list before they even stepped out of Korea. So this is what we're going to talk about. And we also, we're going to have a corporate headquarters in Manila. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so our corporate office is going to start off in Makati, Manila. And as the business continues to grow, we develop leaders from different provinces and different islands in the Philippines. We're also going to open up hub offices as well. We already have our GM, we already have our sales manager, so that's going to be publicly announced relatively soon. And one of the exciting things that, I wish we had here in America, but it's going to have in the Philippines is you're going to have shipping from local warehouses. So you're going to have opportunities that if you order the product, you can have it shipped to you, but you can also go to the local warehouse and you can actually pick it up for will call as well. And we're going to be offering all different types of payments, every major credit card. And I know in the Philippines, a lot of people also like to use something called GPay, and we're going to be accepting that as well. So very, very exciting.
Fabulous. So here's what's really neat is Remon does things differently, where they are always going to partner with first class marketing, with celebrity endorsements, and they're going to go the extra mile to make it special. And they have actually hired the designer that works with she used to work for all the Prada stores with display and setting up the stores. And they've hired her to design the HQ locations in each market. So they want this headquarters to be special for the locals to be able to come and have meetings and events there and one-on-ones. And it can be something that you can be proud to show people when they step through Remon's doors.
And so
Oh,
again, I talked about it earlier about the commitment of the Philippines and Remon in the Philippines. Remon took the extra steps, to pay $250,000 just for an application to be a foreign-owned entity in the Philippines. And again, most companies who go to the Philippines, they do the bare minimum, right? They enter through what's called a bonded company. And so what's the difference, right? A bonded company only really gives you the right to import and export products into the country. But a foreign-owned entity in a country is heavily regulated, like I mentioned earlier, by like the SEC, the DTI, and again, that gives confidence to people because as great as networking is, there's been companies in the past that go into the Philippines that take advantage of it. And so Remon wants to establish itself in such a way to give the people of the Philippines as much confidence as possible. And like I mentioned earlier, only a handful of network marketing companies have made that financial commitment to in the market to do this. And again, most companies only pay 10,000. Our company paid over $250,000 just to do it correctly.
and I think one of the most interesting things is they actually did research on the top markets in demand for Korean skincare, and the Philippines were in the top five. The Philippines, they spend 1.32 billion annually on skincare, and a third of that is spent on Korean skincare. So there's a huge demand for K-beauty, K-pop, K-drama. So the fact that you can share a link for products that people are already searching for, I will tell you, timing is to direct sales like location is to real estate, and you can make a lot of money when you partner with the right timing and something that's trending.
And so what Raymond has is three major brands, right? One is ICD in our that's our skincare line. Then we have our Lab, which is our personal and hair care line, and then we have our Lifening, which is our nutritional line. And all three products together supports you in creating beauty on the inside and outside, which is something that we're all looking for.
So I want to show you this video. This is actually the brand video. I have it muted. Ask the person that invited you to share this with you. This is a 3-minute video, and they actually hired the producers who make videos for Toyota and paid them $800,000 to make this one video. And it really explains the science and the technology behind the brand. So again, ask the person to send it to you. But the story behind this, how this came to be, was the number one product formulator in Korea. He was actually studying tiger grass because tigers would roll around in this after they had been wounded because it would help heal their wounds faster. Well, he ended up developing his own strain and technology of it and was putting it on the skin, and it was rapidly healing the skin. Well, he has 12 different patents on the skincare alone. And of course, he ended up forming a company, and that's when they did almost $3 billion in a very small country. And so you can imagine what they're going to do globally around the world. But here's what's interesting is this actually does things that regular skincare cannot do. This is a cosmeceutical. What that means is it uses a very expensive equipment. It's called microfluidizing equipment that allows the product to penetrate to the deepest layer. So if you've ever put numbing cream on your face and it's numb within a few minutes, it's because it's immediately transferred into the bloodstream. Well, this is allowing it, it uses the same technology, so it allows it to penetrate to the deepest layer, and it has nanoliposomal technology, so it actually heals from the cellular level from the inside out. So basically, what that all translates into is that you're going to see results in 5 to 7 days. This is why this became the number one search for Korean skincare. And it just got an upgrade where they added two extremely important ingredients, NMN, which stimulates your body's production of NAD. So if you've seen it trending on TikTok, NAD is supposed to be your body's anti-aging powerhouse, but it diminishes as we age. And they added exosomes. Well, these are like tiny messengers that tell your cells to produce plumper skin, healthier skin, more collagen. So I promise you, don't take our word for it. Let the camera be the judge. Take a picture, and then in 5 to 7 days, take an after picture.
Yeah, so like Brianna said, one is the heritage ingredients behind our products makes it very unique. And for those of you that are, experienced networkers and people in business, you have the confidence to know that what makes our product special, we have the exclusive to it. So like the plant, we have a 20-year patent. The Jeju Lava Energy Water, there's only 10 companies that have a contract to be able to access that. That combined with the technology of the nanoliposomal is what makes our products work so well, right? It's not just about having quality ingredients, but it's also about having the absorption. So when it comes to our skincare, there's two main lines. There's the signature line and the advanced line. Both deliver the same effects and the same results. The only difference is one is texture, and number two, I would say the advanced line is for people that are looking for maximum absorption, maximum nutrition for the skin, elasticity, and that youthful glow.
So I'll prove it to you. These are actually my before and after pictures. This is my forehead, and I was shocked seeing what it did for my skin 5 days later. My husband is in the middle. I honestly don't know if I'm more impressed with his pores or his hyperpigmentation. You can see how much lighter it is. This is our friend MJ on the right. You can see how it just completely transformed her skin. And then again here, I mean, just look, especially over time, you can see how it completely transforms the skin. I mean, people want that glass skin, that K-beauty glow, and this product is delivering that. with the Radiance. And you can see here just a progression photos. A lot of these are after 3 to 6 months on here. And we also have, I want to introduce you to somebody. She has a fantastic product testimony. And I have to say that, she puts products through a rigorous testing process. She is pretty picky about what she carries in her practice, what she recommends to her patients. She is a practicing doctor. She owns multiple companies, and she has also been extremely successful in the network marketing industry. And so I want to introduce you to Dr. Stephanie Rimka, who had a very unique testimony when she tried the product. So Stephanie, will you
Yeah.
share more with us?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Oh, wow. They made me giant. It's always bizarre when you have to see yourself like you're on a billboard, you know? Hi, I'm Dr. Rimka. I am practicing. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and there's a few things I want to say. One, I'm super excited about the Philippines as well. The backbone of my practice is in the Philippines, actually. I've had 6 brick and mortar physical locations here in Atlanta over 25 years. About 5 years ago, I went 100% remote telehealth. And there was there's some pros and cons to that. And trying to do it with my American staff only was becoming very difficult. And I found my way into the Philippines with remote help. And I will tell you, I have 15 Filipino employees now. I wouldn't trade a Filipino for anything. Some of them have been with me the full 10 years, and we keep hiring and promoting. I actually gave one a raise today. So I have never been to the Philippines. When I told them, I'm going to be there in a few weeks, guys, and I'm flying everybody in from everywhere to Manila because we are doing it. So my whole team is like, Dr. Rimka, you're coming? I'm like, I'm finally coming. I've been with, I think, 3 other companies in that time period, and none of them have made me want to go to the Philippines. This is the first time I'm doing it. It's the first company I'm doing it for. And I'm not even, so I've been on the boards of these companies. So when I found Riemann, I was on the science advisory medical board of another network marketing company, and I'm a product formulator for that company. I was getting royalties on the nutraceuticals that we were taking. They were coming out with a skincare line. I was helping evaluate the skincare line. It was awful. It was horrible. I was like, what are you doing? I go, skincare, that's a great idea. This is a really bad idea. We're going to kill people with poison and give them cancer. I can't get on board with this. Like, well, can you fix it? So I was formulating and doing things and making pastes and creams. And as I was doing that, I was like, listen, I think I'm just going to make my own skincare line. In the midst of all that year of trying to assess this and maybe make my own brand for myself, a whole Radiant line to have a glow up, because who doesn't want to glow up? I'm 52 years old, so this was about a year and a half ago, I guess, broke out, hormonal base, 50 years old, right? That perimenopausal things are happening. And I got severe cystic acne, exploded, about 40, 50 cysts, very, very deep. I have a skin condition called sebaceous hyperplasia, which I've had severe acne before, but this was one of the worst things at 50 years old to like, what is like boo-hoo, crying, putting tons of makeup on. As you can see, I don't have hair to even hide, giant cysts. They're very deep in the skin. I was having to go get them injected and lanced and extracted. They're painful. Sometimes you can't even sleep because they went all through my head. I felt very ashamed. Like I just felt like, listen, I represent health. How am I going to go on stage with all this makeup and looking like, war paint practically? Plus, then I just didn't feel pretty getting in bed with my boyfriend. It was a problem. He was like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, don't touch me. I didn't want to, don't wash off. Don't splash the water in my face." I was behaving differently. It changed my behavior. I didn't feel free. I didn't feel like myself. My skincare line was not working. I tried another one, some fancy medical grade thing. Nothing. I tried the company, I was like, well, I can't put that poison. I was like, I wouldn't give this to a homeless person. So I don't know what to do with this garbage. So in my desperation of seeing some of those pictures, and some of those people are on this call right now, that I saw those pictures on the Facebook, and I said, okay, whatever that is, I know you're not lying. They're like, no. I'm like, somebody send me the stuff. I'll try it. I normally am looking at every ingredient, but I will tell you, I was just a panicked, scared woman, tired of putting on so much makeup, tired of feeling not sexy, not wanting my boyfriend to kiss my neck. I didn't care. I washed my face. I put the cream on. I went to bed. I didn't even look at what was in it. I didn't understand the ingredients. I didn't know what tiger grass, lava water. I'm like, what is this stuff? Never heard of it. I don't have time to research. Put it on. Went to bed. I woke up the next morning, not kidding, probably a 75% improvement. And I just kept going to the mirror going, you gotta be kidding. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that could be, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too happy. I'm gonna wash my face again. I put the cream on in the morning. I put my makeup on. I put my cream on at night. I woke up the next day, went to the mirror, actually started crying. Tears of joy, and said, you've got to be kidding. Never in my career did I pick up my phone. I do a lot on social media. Did I pick up my phone in 2 days without even really researching a product and said, let me tell you what just happened. My sales exploded. We just kind of looked and went, wow, I guess they like skincare. That was easy. I don't really sell skincare, but I guess we need to pay more attention. And then I dove into it. And then I found myself a few months later in Korea at the farm, eating the leaves, talking about the water, meeting, everybody in the company going, this is mind blowing at how powerful this is. A cosmeceutical is a combination of this, this beautiful heritage, ancient ingredients that they have in Korea that we haven't known about or had access to, backed with pharmaceutical grade technology, but it doesn't have a drug classification, so it can stay affordable and accessible to everyone. And the results are unlike anything I've ever seen. My esthetician, who was working on my face when I walked in, she goes, I don't know what to say, what happened to your face. I have the video and it's on my Instagram. She goes, I've never in my career seen results like this. What are you putting on your face? I said, is this, you want to try it? She's like, give it to me now. She goes, that's unbelievable. She goes, I just don't even know what to say. We've never seen results like this. Exactly. And the stuff they're selling is 5 times the price and not even as good. So that's my own personal experience. Again, once I learned the science, now I have hundreds of doctors on my team. I want everybody to have this. There's no reason for people to be going in and having painful, dangerous procedures, using toxic poisons on their skin, burning, laser peeling. Not necessary. None of that is necessary when you have this. So I liked it just because it made me feel pretty again. And I didn't have to put all that makeup on. This is me. I'm actually wearing the Ramon makeup right now. So it's kind of like a filter effect. I am 52. I have never had done anything like Botox or fillers or anything to my face. I haven't chemical peeled it, any of that nonsense. So I love that we have a gentle line that I can stand behind, that I can have a 13-year-old girl on and feel good about it, that I'm not going to ruin her hormones. And I can have an 88-year-old grandma knowing I'm not going to give her cancer. And I'm helping. I went to a spa this week and was talking to older ladies, and they were thinking about getting facelifts and tucks. And I'm like, please don't do any of that. Can you try this? I'm like, honey, I'll try anything to avoid surgery. I'm like, please let me help you not have surgery. So I feel very proud to be behind the brand, and I cannot wait to go to the Philippines and build. I've never had a Filipino team, and I'm excited to build with you guys.
Oh my goodness. She has the most amazing product testimony and to see results that quickly. And it's not just about the skincare. It's about confidence from the skincare. That gave her something back that she had lost for a moment. And we hear more and more about women who are leaving the house without makeup for the first time in their life because they're feeling confident in their skin. So it's really been a beautiful thing. So Julian, tell us about this line.
Well, before I talk about this line, hopefully this is not, what I'm about to say is not out of line, and I'm pretty sure my wife would be okay with me saying it because she agrees. But when I see Dr. Rimka, I feel like she's evidence that life is not fair. I mean, she looks like a supermodel, and she's a doctor, incredibly smart, and I'm just like, man, life's not fair. I'm just funny, right? At least that's what I strive for. But having Dr. Rimka a part of our organization and team and being a part of the company is huge. When I first met her, I thought she was actually, you know, an influencer or a celebrity that Remon actually hired to be a cover model. So incredibly grateful to have Dr. Rimka there, and the information and knowledge and expertise she brings to the table is so invaluable. So, but then we have our personal care line, our body lotion, and our hair care line. And one of the things that we're often taught is you shouldn't wash your hair too often, right? That's one thing we're taught, because most products, skincare, hair care, personal care, most places, the reason why they have results is because they use very aggressive ingredients, and there's undesirable side effects from that, right? So we shouldn't wash our hair too often because it removes the dirt and oil because of chemicals, but it also dries out the scalp and the skin. Now, one of the things you're gonna notice with us, it's all clean, it's gentle. It'll remove the dirt and oil, but at the same time, hydrate your scalp and your skin at the same time. And one of the benefits that we've experienced and discovered through using our products is actually supports people who experience hair loss. Like ladies, like how many of you ever had this experience? You're showering in the shower, washing your hair, and as you pull your hand away from your scalp, strands of hair come out too, right? You know, that's scary for you, but let me also tell you, being a man, that's scary for us too. Because a lot of times, ladies, you forget to throw it away. You put it on the wall to get rid of it later. Your husband comes in, you know, they freak out because they think it's some kind of bug, right? But you know, with our ingredients, people experience hair growing back as well. And again, you know, when it comes to aging, your face, losing hair, those are some of the biggest insecurities that affect not just women, but men as well. And for us to be able to create that experience for people to fall in love with themselves again, fall in love with what they see in the mirror and how they feel, it actually translates to all areas of their life, which is amazing. And I love the lotion. It's not greasy, it absorbs so well into your skin. I live in California, where it's super hot. And also, you know, the Philippines being, you know, very tropical weather, you know, a lot of lotion being it's so greasy, it leaves a film on your skin. And when people use our body lotion, how fast it absorbs, silky smooth, people are gonna love it. Brianna, you there? If you can click the next slide. I actually don't have access to the slides.
She's frozen, but she's not, she told me she wasn't the host. I don't know who is. You might be
Oh.
the host, but
No, I don't have access to it. Okay. Um, so just moving forward, right? We're gonna show you the next slide in a little bit. You know, it's funny, right? Brianna's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be at my lake house for the next month. My Wi-Fi is not so great." And I was like, "Lake house must be nice, right?" But you know, it's really, really great. You know, when it comes to our shampoo, our water treatment, again, with that product, you can be able to wash your hair more often. And one of the things you're gonna notice is your hair is gonna grow back more vibrant, right? It's going to be healthier. It's going to be a lot thicker too. And again, you know, saves you a trip to Turkey for all the guys and all the ladies, you know, having your confidence back. And then we also have our Lifening product, which is really great. What's really great about our Lifening nutritional product, it's a little bit different than most companies, right? Most companies, you know, they do the traditional proteins and all that stuff. Oh, here we go. So show you some before and after pictures. Again, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So if you look at this picture after one use, the first one on the top left, that's after one use. You can see the difference in the scalp. And more importantly, you know, the hydration is back, right? On the skin, you can notice how much more elasticity the skin has. And when your skin has that elasticity, right, it diminishes the signs of wrinkles and folds and everything. And if you look at the bottom picture, which is August to September, right? That's just 1 month of using the product. You can you notice new hair growth coming back, which is huge, right? And that scalp, you know, thank you for mentioning that. Psoriasis, how many people experience psoriasis? Things like eczema and, you know, anything that you have that's clean, natural, that can support with that is huge, right? And so again, if you look at the pictures, you know, that is a huge difference. And not only is that a huge difference, look at the time frame of the results, right? A lot of times it's less than 1 month of using the product and you're already noticing that dramatic result. So again, we have the skincare, we have the scalp care, which is huge. Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the rewards plan, because what I think is interesting about this is they do a couple things that's unique. One is you have the opportunity to lock in a percentage for life and never lose it. So for example, you can lock in 20% or 30%, where most companies, you have to climb your way back up the ladder every single month to requalify. You don't have to do that here. Once you lock in 30%, you could disappear for a year, come back a year later, and still pick up earning 30, between the 30 and 40%. So something else that is extremely unique is that this company actually doesn't require a subscription or an auto shipment for their affiliates. And when I first heard that, I wanted to know why. And they said, because we don't have to. They said anyone who uses these products once are not going to stop using them. So we don't have to require our affiliates to purchase them. So we get paid 6 different ways. We do have written documents that can explain this more. We have videos that can explain this more. So if you'd like to go in depth on this, get back to the person that invited you. I will say that the second of the 6 ways we get paid is you can actually check match on other people that you share this with. So just like how Stephanie washed her face and she talked about it, and now she shows other people how to wash their face and talk about it. You can check match between 40, to down to 20, 10, 5, 5, and 5% of their paycheck just for showing others how to do what you do. So very lucrative on that end. And we have some very unique marketing. So Julian, do you want to tell us who this is?
Yeah. So in this video, I love talking about this. I mean, a lot of people know who he is. Everybody in the Philippines know who he is. That gentleman right there, number one, is 50, close to 50 years old. I think he's already 50. His name is Wong Bin. Okay. Now, why is that significant? Wong Bin actually has the highest grossing film to ever come out of Korea. It was number one on the international markets on Netflix. It's called a movie called The Man from Nowhere. Now, why is having Wong Bin so important to us? Well, just to kind of contextualize it, Wong Bin is like the Brad Pitt or George Clooney of Korea. Very, very private. He doesn't attach his name to many, many things. And, anything he attaches his name to, he's fully behind. His name in Korea is pretty much a brand in itself. And he was one of the biggest things that helped us generate so much business in Korea because of the credibility his name offers. And again, when you're watching movies and you find out this gentleman's 50 years old, you're just like, I want to look like that. I want to have that glass skin, right? I remember when I found out he was 50, I looked at my wife. I was like, man, I hope I look that good at 50. And she's like, you don't look that good. You don't look like that now. And I'm just kidding, right? She didn't say that. But again, when you see the results that people have, you want it for yourself. And we can deliver that for people without surgery, without Botox or any harmful chemical.
I love that. And then here's the thing is they're always going to do first class marketing and celebrity endorsements. So if you're ever wondering who they're going to partner with, it's going to be the best. And this is another example where they partnered with a company called Pentagram. It's the #1 marketing and branding firm out of New York that represents brands like Louboutin, Lululemon, Starbucks, Nike, and now Remon. So this is, like I said, when you do $3 billion in the hardest market in the world to do that in, just hold on tight because they're about to do billions of dollars around the world. And I'll just mention who this is really quickly. This is Frederic Bertin. He's actually the #1 fragrance formulator in the world, and he formulates fragrances for Louis Vuitton, and he now has a collab with Remon to create a signature scent for Remon as well. So again, they like to partner with the best. Now, should we talk about the ownership with Chairman On? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, what, and it's not just Chairman On. I mean, I feel like for a company like Remon becomes successful, one, it's not by accident, right? They put in the hard work, but certain things have to align for it to happen. And when I look at, our owner, and Chairman On, and I look at, our his partner, Mr. Huang, it's truly special because, Mr. On is like the Steve Wozniak of Apple, right? His passion's in the formulation, it's in the products, it's in the design, right? He doesn't care about the money, right? And then you have someone like Mr. Huang. He's like the Steve Jobs of our company. He's the visionary. He's the one that's going out there, talking about the products, the vision. He understands the market. And so to have those two together is really what poise and separates us apart. I mean, the slide right here says Remon Village. When you become a director and higher, you get flown out on these annual retreats where you get a chance to, explore the facilities and everything. But Remon actually built 9 villas where they house all the leadership. And let me tell you, everything the company does is quality. I mean, you already saw our marketing videos. Like when you go to these villas, it's almost like the technology behind it is Apple, but the decor and the vibe is like Chanel and Tom Ford. And that seems to be the common theme of everything our company does. Because, you know, a lot of companies, they might have great products, but their marketing is horrible. And there's other companies that have great marketing, but their products are horrible. And our company understands the value of both. I mean, you take a look at Frederick, you know, the gentleman that, you know, Brianna just talked about, you're merging, you know, French fragrances, which makes products, sought after, mixing it with the wellness and innovation of Korean products. Again, that's just an idea testament of what our company's vision is, delivering high quality products, but not just high quality products, but high quality products that you want to show off, that you want to share, you know? And so that's what I love about it.
So this actually really impressed me when we were here in October, and you know, we were going on this bus. They said we were going to go see the smart farm. And so I'm thinking in my head, this little greenhouse, and then we're going to go have lunch. And we pull up to an entire campus. It was several blocks of labs, warehouses, manufacturing facilities where they drill for the Jeju Energy lava water, which we didn't even get to talk that much about, but that's a whole nother story there. And when I saw this, I in that moment realized this is bigger than network marketing. I've never seen anything like this enter the network marketing space. And when we were there, we had learned that Chairman On has mapped out a 100-year vision on how he wants to become the #1 K-beauty brand in the world. And he wants to do it with us. And that really blew me away, especially knowing that you have to realize he's not competing with other network marketing companies. They're not even on his radar. I mean, Julian said it. His competitors are brands like Chanel and Dior and La Mer. Those are the brands that he's going head to head with. And I feel extremely honored that we have the opportunity to partner with a brand like this that wanted to enter this space. And I wanted to know why he wanted to partner with network marketing, because I'm telling you right now, this could be sitting on a med spa shelf. This could be sitting at a high-end department store. That dermatology cream could be priced between $300 and $400, and people would buy it because of what it does. So why did he choose to partner with us? And I found out that in Korea, they love network marketing. It's very regarded. They view it as a profession. It's very respected. And his mission is to bring luxury skincare to the everyday person. And he wants to create that mission with us. And so I hope somebody honestly thought very highly of you to invite you here tonight. And, you know, if you're wondering, can I do this? Is this for me? I will tell you, when I first got started in this industry, I had no confidence. I was very shy. Was terrified of what people thought. And somebody saw something special in me before I saw it in myself. And somebody saw that in you tonight, and that's why you're here. So you can see this is the newest smart farm that's 150,000 square feet. And we have some events coming up, Julian, right?
Yep. In September, we have a huge convention. And, you know, a lot of you just positioning yourself right now with the Philippines, a lot of you are going to experience success that you can't even imagine. And a lot of you are going to be hitting major ranks and being recognized on stage in front of thousands of people in Las Vegas, of all places, right? So it's going to be super fun. And so, as far as I know, a lot of different chatter in the chat box about dates and launches. So this is the tentative schedule of the Philippines pre-launch schedule. July 15th, phase 1 of the pre-launch begins, right? We'll have marketing materials available from presentations, launch product lists and price, the different starter kits that will be available, product digital, brochures, compensation plan documents, like everything you'll need in the pre-enrollment form. And something to keep in mind, all the pre-enrollment forms and pre-enrollments will be going through your director. So make sure that you get in contact with your upline director about your commitment and how serious you are. And I know a lot of the leaders are going to be out there early as well. In July, I land in the Philippines on the 25th. I'll be there till the 30th. And then August 18th, and then also, we'll throw this out there too. We're looking to do our first opportunity event tentatively on the 29th in the Philippines. We're going to book a hotel that's going to be close to where the corporate headquarters is going to be. So people are used to going to that environment. And there'll be live demos, a live presentation. about the products so people can see it and experience it and meet a lot of the leaders that are going to be pioneering the market. Now, August 18th is when phase two is going to begin. And that's where it's going to be open enrollment. Orders can begin. People can now sign up through the official website. And then September 1st, phase three will happen, which is the product shipping begins and then commissions get paid out. So it's going to be huge. And we're also going to be doing a launch tour beginning of August. So different cities, dates, and locations are going to be are to be announced. But just keep in contact with your upline directors. They will give you the information as soon as it's available.
Yeah, put down just tentatively August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We'll have a 3-city tour with corporate. And then, like Julian said, July 29th, we'll have an in-person event. And we'd love to meet you one-on-one, hear your story, see how we can help you. And so you have a couple different options. Like as you can see here, on July 15th, you can fill out that pre-enrollment form. And then August 18th, you can actually start enrolling. If you'd like to go ahead and grab a spot with the person that invited you here tonight, you can do that by pre-enrolling through Canada. Why Canada? Because it's free enrollment in Canada right now. So why not grab a free enrollment spot through Canada? And when you grab a spot through Canada, you'll just put in a Canadian address. You can look up IKEA, you could look up a grocery store or Walmart, it doesn't matter, because when the Philippines officially opens, we will go ahead and you will have your upline director and HQ actually change your address over to your correct address in the Philippines. This is just securing your spot in the system so that you can start securing other people in the system underneath you. So, Julian, let's go ahead and close this out.
Which, by the way, just to add on to it, I highly recommend that going through Canada is probably the better option, only because you're not going to have to keep track of forms, documents, and have a separate sheet of the tree for corporate. It'll automatically already be set up for you. So as soon as we switch everything over when we launch, people can log in, order, and all the orders will already go through. So I highly recommend that. And so for those of you that are hopping on this call, like one thing that we've always said, I said this in the beginning too, when I started Remon, that this might be the first time you hear about it, but it'll definitely not be the last time you hear about it. So the question is, do you want to join the movement now or later after everybody else is involved? But I promise you, this will be the biggest thing to happen in the Philippines as far as network marketing, as far as this industry has ever seen. And so many lives are going to be changed and impacted. So we're super excited.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. And we will make sure we get this replay out with tech difficulties and all. And I promise you we'll do this again next week so you can invite some others to hear about it. So thanks, everyone, and have a good night. Or if you're in the Philippines, have a great day.